The MLB is reportedly making the extra inning ghost runner rule permanent for regular season games. Every regular season half inning in extras will automatically start with a runner on base. I hated this. I understood this idea when you needed it during a year where you needed to get games done and people away from each other. But the last two seasons going into a third, you're going to have this dumb rule where it's basically going to feel like a little league tournament where you just have to get it done in one pitch. I know you're trying to change these rules to make the game quicker, faster, and more efficient, but this is a stupid rule, and I really wish this is one of the rules that the league had repealed from all those changes that they had made. They had already done the away with the 7 inning doubleheaders. They had already done with a couple other things. This is one that should have been along with them.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. As
I
somebody
do
that
too.
played baseball, the only time I ever experienced it playing growing up in the 17, 18 years I played baseball was in tournaments when obviously you have 6 or 7 games you're trying to fit in a day. So yes, you have to speed the game up. These are professionals. I hate it. But there's a lot of things I hate with Major League Baseball with the current commissioner, and I could go on and on with that, but I'm not going to. I also saw that there's a new, not a new rule, but something else they added in terms of pitching. Now we won't be able to see as many position players pitching that we have seen before in the past. There's now rules that they can only enter at a certain time with a
Sure.
certain score or margin, which,
Yeah.
it is what it is. This rule, Mitch, to begin with, I hate. Not a fan of the pitch clock rule for pitchers now when I believe it's 15 seconds in between pitches with nobody on base, 20 seconds with a runner on. And a batter has a number or a certain amount of time in the box to get back in the box, or a strike is called, or if a pitcher violates it, it's an automatic ball. It's not going to be long before we have robo umps, which I'm not a fan of. I know a lot of people are, but I just don't like the way Rob Manfred has baseball going right now. And it starts with the blackout restrictions, but I'm done. No more rants from me.
That's fair. That the blackout thing was fair. The position player pitching thing, it's a fun thing on Cut Four's Twitter page, but I can see why they're trying to like reduce that because it's basically just like a gimmick you have during blowouts. It's funny. I was looking up some of the numbers here. Approximately 10% of regular season baseball games go into extra innings historically. You had about 9.2% of them last year. There were 37 13 inning games in 2019 alone, which is last year with the usual rules, which I understand the thinking is that you don't want these games to go 18 innings. But if anything, maybe they could implement a rule like this once you get to a certain point where the game goes egregiously long, like the 13th or the 14th inning, not in the 10th inning when you could easily just affect the game to a point where you give up a single, and then if it's in the gap enough, the game could be over on a walk off hit.
Yeah, I it, it irritates me. It really does.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I know like somebody like my dad, he's kind of come around to it.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, he also is not a fan of it by any means. We'll get used to it, I guess, since it's going to be implemented every season moving forward, as it stated in the release today. It's always fun because it also not I'm sorry, not fun, funny because it irritates me still though, because I'm somebody that it's depending where you're at in the order, want them to get them to third, get them in with if you're at the top of the order. But we don't see teams do that quite often anymore.
Well, here's the thing too. The postseason games are gonna be normal. It's not like they're gonna
I
keep
know,
this.
I know.
This is so
Which
stupid. I know it's regular season games. A lot of these games in early April or late August may not be worth anything. I get that, but it's so stupid. If you're gonna do one thing, don't do another thing that's different in the postseason, man.
right, the same thing goes with the NFL, Mitch. They altered the overtime rules of the NFL because of a game we saw last postseason between the Chiefs and the Bengals, and it is
Yeah.
now only a postseason rule. Implement that all season if you're going to do it that way. And if you're not going to do it in the playoffs for baseball, then don't do it now. It's irritating. I hate it.